Greetings and salutations, Black Desert Online players and Yieldies. I'm making this video today. Many of you have asked, hey, Mr. D, how the hell do we get the triple float rod? You know, the quest every 3 days where you get like 30 million worth of fishing rods? Well, I am here to show you. So first things first, hit O, hit reoccurring, right here, skilled fishing, a special fishing rod. As you can see, mine only has 2 quests. Yours should have 5, I believe, and it'll start with the catching seaweed or catching mackerel, whatnot. You'll be talking to Creo right here in Velia. He'll give you the precursor quests. You're going to have to catch seaweed, catch mackerel, and then dry a fish. Between that and getting to Skilled 5 fishing, after that, Abelin over here will give you a quest called Fish for Villagers right here. And basically, you go out and you have to go hotspot fishing. And for anybody who doesn't know what hotspot fishing is, we're going to cover that. But basically, you go out in the ocean and you look for seagulls. And when you find seagulls, you throw your rod in. And hopefully, with a little bit of luck, you catch the type of fish you're looking for. Now, if you guys can see here, Fish for Villagers, you need 1 grunt, 1 tuna, is not the tuna, 1 black porgy, and 1 spotted sea bass. So normally you start off in Velia, you head off looking for seagulls. I will tell you that 9 times out of 10 you'll see seagulls right here in front of you. That'll be coelacanths. You will get 1 per hotspot. They're good for silver, but they're not good for this quest. It's completely random whether or not you see seagulls or not. I've been told based on your fishing level, on the frequency in which you see them. Maybe some of you fishing gurus can confirm. This toon is currently fishing Artisan 3, so I see a fair number of them. Sometimes I have to switch servers a few times, other times it works. So, I have a rotation that I like to go out and do. It's basically a weird lopsided figure 8 starting in Velia. I did use maps on certain websites that are very good maps of the game that show hotspots and where fish are, likely to spawn, whatnot. But basically, if you look at your map, I stick right in this area, the Balanos Sea and whatever the hell sea this is. We're going to call it the Olvia Sea. Usually just come up here through the islands, skedaddle up here. I believe this is Narvo Island. Yep, around Narvo, and then kind of meander over here. I think this is Armo Sea, and usually by the time I get back here, provided we get a little bit of luck, I don't have to go out again or switch servers. Now, occasionally you will see other sailboats or galleys out here where people will be hotspot fishing because it's actually a very viable way to make an income. Typically, these hotspots have between 15 and 20 gold fish, and if you're not familiar, you can sell those to the Imperial Fishing Delivery Agent, and they will give you approximately 3 times the value of the fish. So, you get 20 fish worth 300,000 a piece times, I don't know, a couple different hotspots. It adds up quickly. I have heard of people coming out here and doing 60 to 80 million an hour doing that. But for all intents and purposes, literally I just come out here, I cast into the hotspot. If it's a type of fish I want, I get 1 and leave. If it's not, I get 1 and leave anyways. I don't want to spend hours upon hours because then it gets bothersome. So, and you're going to want to look around. If you don't know how to change your view on a boat while continuing to go forward, if you have a mouse wheel, you press and hold it and you can pan your view all around while continuing to go straight. And sometimes it can be hard to see the seagulls. Sometimes you're like, oh, derp, there it is. But so far, nothing. That's why they call it fishing, folks. Okay, I just saw one over here. I don't know if you could see it in the video. It's straight ahead. So this is what a hotspot looks like right here. Coming up on it. And literally you just pull right up next to it. And you get off the wheel. Equip your fishing rod. Run down here. And cast in. Now in a hotspot, you can only get goldfish. I've never got anything else. Boots, seaweed, laundry, relics, nothing. Now the fact that the seagulls disappeared means this is only going to be a 1 fish hotspot, which either means it's coelacanth or it's already been fished out and it's been here forever. I believe the timer on these hotspots are they're there for 15 minutes and then they respawn somewhere else. But I haven't really looked into it to figure out confirming or not. It's just I kind of just come out here herpy derpy and get, triple floats. So I guess we'll see what we get when we pick it up. Now some people do come out here and they pop coconut cocktails and things like that to increase their fishing speed, and they'll just sit here and go AFK, Netflix and chill, go make a pot of coffee or whatever, and just until the hotspot's done. But this toon doesn't have that many inventory slots, so it literally his only job is to sit in Velia. Yep, so that's a coelacanth. Coelacanths are nice. I mean, they're worth 250,000. I think, if I remember correctly, that you don't get triple those at the Imperial Fishing, but we'll confirm that when we go into port. I think it's like, 400 and something maybe. I don't know. Who knows? I usually don't pay attention to it because I don't do this for money. I just do it for the triple floats. If you don't know what the triple floats are and you're interested, triple floats are fishing poles that throw in and basically have 3 hooks on them. And I believe, let's see the durability on them. Right here, 30 durability. And basically you throw them in, and I've caught as many as 7 different items on a cast. I don't know if that's atypical or if that's normal. And I see another hotspot over here, kind of pointed right at it. You can kind of make it out at the tip of that island. But the triple floats are nice during events like when they do the octopus at Termian or the kois, because you could literally cast out, and if you get 5 kois or 5 octopus, that's 2.5 million a cast. So, and these rods are 10 million a piece on the marketplace, which, depending on your views, may or may not be exorbitant. But if you're catching that kind of fish during the event with it, it's completely worth it in my opinion. But it's also just as easy to come out here and hotspot fish, to be honest. So who knows, maybe after this video, y'all will just start smacking the market with these triple floats and it'll drop the price. I have no clue. So a lot of people can tell what kind of fish it is depending on what they look like. I'm not that good. Maybe it's because I'm lazy. Maybe because I don't care. Maybe because, bottom line is I don't trust other people. I have no clue. But we're going to cast in, see what we get. Seagulls didn't disappear, so that means there's a few fish here. Occasionally you look around, see if anybody else is on a hot spot. You can see other boats. There's a boat there. I believe that's the Olvia to Lima ferry. I don't know. Once in a while you'll come out here and not pay attention and accidentally be flagged up and sink somebody's rowboat. It's only happened twice. That funny noise of me slurping coffee. 2 pots a day. Keep me virulent. So far, it's actually pretty lucky, getting 2 hotspots before we even get to the main cut here. The main cut, as I like to call it, is when these little islands open up and I can, this whole big space here, usually there's like a hotspot here, hotspot there. So let's see what we got. Of course, I'm not paying attention. So, now that I failed, now would be a good time to remind people. When I first started fishing in this game, I've been playing the game for about 2 years. Guildmate and I were kind of like struggling, AWSD. Any good gamer keyboard will have half of those letters rubbed off the keyboard. But anyways, so I pay attention to the left, right, straight, forward, back, So you're used to moving your toon. So try to get in the habit of training yourself to, hey, A is left, D is right, S is back, W is forward. So, don't overthink it. Honestly, it's great that happened while I'm recording because that usually doesn't happen. I haven't failed an auto fish in a while or a live fish in a while. So now I just got to sit here until I get another one. But the whole point of this quest is you just get one of these fish, and let me pay attention so I don't fail miserably again. Okay, so that's a black porgy. That is one of the fish. If you see, give 1 black porgy to Bahar. Believe he's the one of the skill instructor dudes up there. But basically, you go around, hotspot fish, and then you go back to Velia. You give the 1 fish to each one of those 4 toons, and you talk with Abelin. Abelin will say, hey, cool, here's some contribution points, and give you a quest called a Sweet Reward. That is also listed on the recurring, right here, Sweet Reward. Basically, at that point, let me go back to Velia to show you, so this way we don't have to have a 16-hour video. Abelin's the dude we got the quest from. Once you turn that in, get the contribution after you've given the 4 fish to people, and the fish go to Aliston, Eileen, I believe it's the trade manager here, Bahar, and then you give a fish up here to Takros, I think. Let's see here. Let's just confirm that. Aliston, Bahar, Eileen, and Igor Bartali. Okay, so the chief of Velia. And the chief of Velia, if you don't know, that's the wrong node. So the chief of Velia is right there on the corner. So once you give the 1 fish to each one of those, and you could do it at different times. If it takes you 2 days to do this quest, that's fine. Then you talk to Abelin. He says, cool, here's some contribution. He gives you the quest Sweet Reward. All you do is run up here. Gamil in this house here behind the skill instructor is the one that you will talk to with the Sweet Reward, and he's the one who gives you the 3 triple floats. So it's literally that easy. The one thing to keep in mind with this quest is it's only available once every 3 days or so. I'm not entirely sure on the timer. I've never actually timed it. Let's see if it says on the quest. Yeah, you can receive this quest again 3 days after completing it. So that's gonna determine how many times per week you can do this. I'm usually pretty good about being able to do this twice a week, which would be 6 triple floats a week. Which, I mean, it's not crazy money. It's 60 million. But at the end of the day, when you do fishing events or whatnot, it's going to be incredibly hard to find these. They're always going to be pre-ordered. They're always going to be sold out on the market. So this is just a way for you to bolster. I think I when I opened up my marketplace, I think I have 13 of these there. Another Toon's got 45 of them. Maybe a little overkill. I get it. Occasionally I'll be bored and just bring a triple float out here and just fish the hot spots and, catch 3 or 4 at a time. The other interesting thing about fishing, just while I'm covering the subject, is for those of you who may not be great fisher people in this game or know everything there is to know about everything, one of the things that you could do, and I'll show you right here, even though it's just not a hot spot, is, so you got your fishing pole, is if you see up here, I got 512 out of 512 energy. Actually, you can't see because my stupid logo's there. But anyways, if you could, I'm max energy. So when you cast, if you press and hold space, this little mini game will open up. And it'll max out energy 10. And by releasing, you've invested 10 energy into that cast. And in theory, what that should mean is it gives you 2 different procs. 1, catching better stuff. And 2, catching more of it. Not a guaranteed. It basically is an RNG roll. So in theory, this Toon's got 512 energy. I could make 51 casts like that. And where you really start to see benefits and gains from that is, for instance, when you have a triple float and you're fishing a abundant spot. If you look up here, fishing resources, it says abundant. If it says exhausted, don't do this because it's going to take forever to catch a fish and it's low RNG. But if you've got a really good fishing spot and it's abundant and you want to kind of see if you can RNG yourself into some better casts, what I would do is I would do the press and hold the space bar, do a 10 cast, and it's not unheard of for me to pull up 3 relic shards in a single cast. Now you see, I did invest 10 energy. I caught a green fish. No big deal. Not even worried about, picking it up. Just going to waste it. Do it again. Let's see if maybe we can get something better. But like I said, it's not a guaranteed. Yeah, it's nice to get 3 relics, or I've actually had a goldfish, a bluefish, and 2 relics in one cast. It's just a way to maybe engage yourself a little more when active fishing, because let's face it, I'm going to do a throwback back to EVE Online because I used to be a big EVE player. If you're active fishing in an MMO, you probably, you're not the most dynamic personality to begin with, so anything you could do to spice up your life, cool. I mean, I'm active fishing for a quest. Maybe I'm using that for a little bit of a justification, but as you can see, I got another green fish. So we're just going to say, no, you know what, throw that back, not really interested. I illustrated the point. But yeah, that's it. This quest is fairly simple. It just takes, I think the earliest I've ever completed this quest was in 42 minutes. The most time it ever took me was an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes. So give yourself about an hour. Usually if I get out here to Narvo and I haven't found at least a couple hotspots, I will switch servers. Once again, I'll show you my rotation. I leave Velia. I go northwest along these little islands. I come into the cut north of this area of Olvia up to Narvo Island. I go on the outside of Liz, come around the Armo here, go back up to Narvo, up in this area between Arita Island and Orfs, and by then I usually have gotten my 4 fish and then head back to port. Now, if I haven't gotten my 4 fish and I'm not going to be online, let's say again for another 18 hours, it sounds like it might be a pain in the ass, but I actually go back to port and turn the fish into the corresponding NPCs. Because like I said, you can do all 4 NPCs at any given time. You just can't turn the quest in for credit until all 4 fish have been given to all 4 NPCs. Once again, it's pretty simple. I mean, there's really no way, unless you're in my guild or whatnot, that you can look me up and ask a question, but I think I've covered everything. I found this information from asking in server chat and asking people in my guild and whatnot, but you know, I have noticed that we've had a lot of influx in our guild lately and newer players, and they're like, hey, how do? What do? So that's kind of like why I decided to fire up the old OBS and dust it off. But yeah, if you have any questions, just keep exploring. And maybe I'll get my website back up and running, and if you guys have any questions or comments or requests, I can get back into recording. Thank you very much for watching. Have a fantastic evening, and flag up.